Hello, hello, test, test. Looks like we're good. Alright. I think we got everything here that we need. Started off a little bit earlier just to see if I could have the stream going while I had the chat going. Giving it a shot. Seems like I just have to start it and go and just be here. So maybe next time we can chill to the music. And I will wait, I guess, I don't know, like 10 minutes for everyone to get comfy. Hey Kim, how you doing today? Glad you could join me. Decided to go with the Tomorrowland background music this time. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes when it comes to the copyright claims, because I tried playing the area music for Soren, and Soren immediately got dinged. I wonder if I could just clip this song out and just keep that as part of, like, a master playlist that I'll eventually create out of snippets of different area musics and other instrumentals that I find along the way. I think little by little I'm going to discover a way to make this a little more fun in terms of the music, instead of just having the entire background music and just going. Just making some adjustments to the exposure there. Yeah, that looks about right. I actually encountered the 93 to 2003 Tomorrowland music. That was interesting. You know that it was made in like the late 80s, early 90s by the sounds that they used. It's not nearly as fun as this. Although I do have some nostalgia for it. Alright, so I'm gonna start at like 9:05 my time, so about 4 more minutes. This is the time to get your pencils sharpened, your pieces of paper out, and I should remember to close my door. Alright, all better there. I think the next upgrade I get is with this microphone, I'm gonna just get a lavalier. At least that's what I'm mulling right now. Like a nice little wireless setup so I can just kind of not have to be aware of when I'm talking. Yeah, I have no idea. I've never messed with a lavalier before. But eventually, I guess I should get into that. The more that I do all these videos and such. It might not be a bad investment. Alright, so it looks like a lot of people are out celebrating Mickey and Minnie's birthday today. So, to start us off here, I'm going to start us with a little mini celebration of Toy Story's 25th anniversary, which I believe is Saturday. So I wanted to do something from that. So I think we're going to get started here. First thing we're going to want to do for this character, and remember, the first one is always a warm-up. Maybe it's a little more ambitious. And the goal is just to watch our proportions and just kind of wing it in terms of it being a warm-up. Don't worry, this isn't... We'll do the confidence booster at the end. So what I'm going to do to start off, I'm going to draw 3 horizontal lines very lightly that are equidistant. And then I'm going to draw a vertical line down the middle. Now, it was requested that I slow down a little bit, so I am going to do my best to do that. So here's what we have so far. 3 lines, evenly spaced, line down the middle. This is going to be what we use to kind of give shape to everything else around it. I don't think I mentioned, we're trying to draw Buzz Lightyear here. I don't know how long I could keep that a secret. But I found a guide that did this really well and used this method rather than a circle because of his unique head shape. So the way we're going to start the head is we're going to kind of use the bottom here of this line and draw that big old chin of his just by drawing a U here. We're going to square that chin off and then bring up the U. Then on the other part of this, it's still a pretty square top to his head, but it does come in a little bit because of those cheeks of his. Very unique little shape, and I find that the indentation of his head is about halfway in between this area. So like this spot right here, about halfway is where that little indent should happen. While we have this time here, I'm going to quickly put the ear in, which goes along with this indent. It's about, trying to give maybe a third of the size of one of your indents here. Not indents, of one of these spaces here. So just imagine that being in thirds, and that'll be the ear. And then stemming from the ear is going to be the neck. It's pretty much right up against this, and then curves out just ever so slightly. Then just going to finish up top of this here and bring it over the head here. I feel like I didn't make this outward cheek as big as it should have been. So I'm just gonna lightly bring this around. Oh, the classic. Next up, about halfway across the face. I'm gonna put smile lines, or like the cheek lines here. Then top of the mouth, and then bottom of the mouth. I want to put in a little placeholder spot for the nose, that little triangular nose that he has. It's about a quarter of the width of this space, maybe a little bit less. But what I do want to do next is get the eyebrows. If you can get the eyebrows right, the rest of the facial expression kind of tends to fall into place, especially with a character like Buzz. The only weird thing about his eyebrows is that they sit way up here. So we're going to kind of be doing the raised eyebrow look. So somewhere around here. And then kind of coming across, but not crossing our vertical line. Something like this. Probably could be, from what I'm seeing, slightly wider going out this way and swooping back. And then the other bit of eyebrow, or the other eyebrow, can come out this way. And then come down just slightly into the curve of the head. Now the easy part with the rest of his nose, it's just a triangle, and it goes about halfway into this space here. So just connect that, draw it lightly. It doesn't have to be a perfect triangle either. It's just supposed to give the shape an idea. And then from there you kind of have these two areas where you can put in the eyes. And from there, the rest of the eyes, we can do that just by adding another circle here, and then a darkened circle in the middle. And I'm just lightly filling this in, because I realize that it doesn't look right unless you have a little bit of contrast between the eyeball, the iris, and the pupil. Ooh, can anybody name this song? Alright, I want to put in the rest of the neck here, and then that little squiggle that he has on his chin, that's about halfway here. I forgot that there is a bit of an ear here. And then if we bring this down a little bit more, the rest of the spacesuit kind of comes across like this. And then kind of from there, we want to start building out the spacesuit that he's in. I'm just kind of trying to do a profile of him, so like from the chest up, so we don't have to go too crazy on the armor. I had considered doing something a little more elaborate, but thought that would be a little mean. So I want to do this. I do want this to come around like that. So right now I'm just trying to build out this area, because this comes in here. This eventually, it comes down rounded this way because it's supposed to come up into the into his helmet. I'm looking for a little direction in the proportions here, but this looks like it's about it, because then it comes up this way a little bit into the helmet, and then it's about an eyeball's height above him to get an idea of where it's supposed to peak. And then on this spot here, there's like an idea of a hinge. And then it'll kind of come up and out from there. Then since we have a hinge in here, we want to draw the rest of the hinge here. And then the rest of the breastplate that starts coming down that way. And I kind of want to add just one line going that way and one line going this way to kind of hint that it's reflective. And then we need going almost where the smile is to kind of indicate where the rest of the, or like the back of the suit is. And then maybe we can just throw something indicating where the wings are back here. Now, if you were to continue drawing, this is like where the shoulder joint would be. Over here. And then over here. That's basically where we're at with the drawing. And then, if you want, you can add a little bit of fringe here. Like, you can darken this here. And if you wanted to, you could shade in this area, which is supposed to be purple. But basically, this is our finalized drawing, and I'm looking at mine saying, he's a bit skinnier than he should have been, maybe. Oh, wow, I forgot his eyelids. He definitely has eyelids. And that definitely helps with the expression. I apologize for forgetting about that. But I'm going to quickly, while you guys finish up, I'm going to commit to some of these lines here. See if that helps bring him to life a little bit. And it sort of does. I think he's just a little off kilter for me looking at the camera now. Only slightly. I don't know where the other Aidens are. But we have one Aiden. Thank you for being here. Aiden. One. He's just slightly off model, but I didn't want to do one of those like 2D buzzes that you see in the coloring books. Those don't look so happy. But for the next one, we are going to do Mickey and Minnie. And I wanted to find one that was a little more easier to do by looking at the wishables of Mickey and Minnie from Runaway Railway, so we could actually get both characters in there and not have to do anything too difficult. Sorry, Alice Bunny. I try to prep these in advance so I have an idea of what I'm doing going into it. But I can definitely make plans to do the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland in the future, okay? Alright, I'm gonna start getting prepped for the next one. I'm gonna quickly pull that reference up on my phone. Alright, so I think you guys know the wishable that I'm talking about. It's the one from Runaway Railway where they're both in their car. It just had the most simplest shapes that I could break down, and we could have a fun little satisfying way of doing Mickey and Minnie. Because if they were in like their classic poses, if we were doing something else with them, it might be a little too elaborate for this. At least to make sure that we get them on model. So I'm going to give everybody, like, let's say 3 minutes, 2 minutes. And I'm going to just start planning out how we're going to break this down. I have not tried to get a Happy Meal yet. One of my friends that owns a small shop, her and her sister, they went to go buy a Happy Meal and it was not even the right toys. Where could you buy them for $20? Because that would... Kim, enlighten us, please. Yeah, where can I get all of them for $20? That would be amazing. Wait, you can give them, throw them a 20? And that was it? Oh, you can buy the whole set at McDonald's? Huh. Also, don't forget, they have these very funny, like, almost like Burger King crowns, but it's, Mickey and Minnie. Tiff, you're gonna eat Happy Meals? Your dedication always impresses me. Alright, I'm gonna get started on this one. I'm just getting a rough idea of the shape here. So I'm gonna just break this down into circles real quick, very light little circles. This one's going to be kind of like a smushed little oval, little egg right here. Then I'm going to outline Mickey real quick. About half the size here. And then Minnie over here. So from here we'll make a car and make our two... our birthday boy and our birthday girl. Their food is not the best. It tastes funny to me. The only thing I'll eat from them is their fries. For it being a Happy Meal, there's just... Can't you get, like, something pseudo-healthy in it these days? It just doesn't sound like something good for kids to have these days. Supposedly, Sammy, that's what Kim was saying. that you can get the whole set for like 20 bucks. So can I get a Happy Meal that's just fries? And no burger or anything like that? Apples and milk. Oh. What a combo. That's barely a meal. Like, that's kind of a snack? That's a snack. But who knows? Like, with them, the salads are like 1,300 calories. It's insane. Alright, so, oh, why is that repeating again? Oh, this is the actual... So it finishes where it starts, apparently, this entire loop. It's supposed to crossfade into itself. Gotcha. Whoops. Today I learned. Alright, so I'm going to just start at the ends of the car to the left and the right. I'm going to just draw another little shape here. It's going to be about... Yeah, you want about half the car's length in the middle there. But for this, you want those fun old-timey car shapes here. Bring that down. And that's going to come into a line right here. And then at the bottom here. And then there's a big old light here. You can do the lights however you'd like. I'm going to keep it simple and just make it one big light here. And then just draw a quick circle around it. And then this kind of comes up, and then we have, I guess this is what's supposed to be a license plate or something like that. It's just white though. I'm surprised they didn't commit to something. That's like a really obvious place for a reference of some kind, and they did not go for it. Color me surprised. Let's add a tire. I'm just gonna add some tread while we wait here. Alright, Sammy's gonna test this out and she'll report back to all of us whether or not you can get a Happy Meal set for $20. Get all the toys. Let's see, I'm looking at the top of this here circle. I'm going to just quickly define it, and then I'm going to put in the mirror. So, just drawing, committing to where the top of the hood is, and then there is like a little windshield on top of that. And then, just like we've learned with most everything here, we want to draw two big eyes and then a smiley face. However, this is going to be also doubling as a grill. So, we need two big eyes here. Which I'll fill in a second. Then, right underneath that, and coming out like this, it's going to be a big toothy smile, which doubles as the grill. So just fill that in. And there's your car. Your smiling car. Now the weird thing is that it only does front teeth, and it looks really weird, but I think we're going to just go with it. Like that. People in Facebook groups have gotten the whole set from a single store, but that's pretty rare. Most have just a few of the toys, and you can buy them without getting a meal. I definitely would not buy a meal. I can't even tell you the last time I had McDonald's. And I don't even know what I'd do with the Happy Meal toys if I bought them. It's just more stuff. I mean, maybe I could put them in my Christmas tree. And so maybe that way it would be worth it. Aiden says he has a good theme for one day. Yeah, I would like to try doing Looney Tunes characters. That would be fun. We could switch it up eventually, but I feel like I need to get this to catch on first before I can do anything. But yeah, I could see them being ornaments. I could see those toys being like fun little ornaments. I'm just sort of outlining, slowing down, but I think we can move on. So what I'm seeing here, let's start with Mickey first. So the circle, inside the circle, we're gonna draw that little weird widow's peak thing. And I'm just following along with the circle that we've drawn. Then about halfway down, this is where we're gonna add the cheek. And then same thing over here and add the cheek. Alright, so something like that. So from the cheek, we can kind of flesh out the rest of the circle, which is his head. It looks like the widow's peak, or whatever you want to call it, is very straight and sharp and pointy. I'm just quickly filling this in. Nothing too crazy. Their nuggets taste like a sponge. You want the Time Rover one. I haven't looked at them again. The only one that caught me off guard was that there's a Mission Space one, which is kind of weird. Hey, Dog1234. I haven't really had any of the holiday food, but that's because it wasn't obvious what they had. There was only something at Metro Grill that I saw that was okay, and the Holiday Feast, which I haven't tried yet. Have a good night, Aiden. The decorations were about the same, if not there was more, because they opened up the catering area. So, to be honest, I mean, it's more of the same than previous years. It's unfortunate that they can't do a lot of the entertainment that they had, but there was roaming entertainment. At least 3 or 4 different things going on. Alright, so since we're at this stage with Mickey, we might as well, and I guess I'm gonna just put in the a hint of there being a body, so it doesn't feel like it's just floaty head. But I'm going to do the same thing now for Minnie and just kind of outline where I want the face and the cheeks. I think I made her head like a little bit too off to the side, but it's okay. She's happy. She's singing or something. Alright, next up, I'm just going to add her hat real quick, which just sits right on top. And it's pretty simple here. It's going to be centered on her head. Just one little shape like that. So what I mean by centered is that it's take the distance of half her head and then just center that right there. Then we have the flower and the petals. There's 5 petals to make room for. And then the dome. And that's it. Quick little hat. Now we have to just draw the ears and the face, and it'll be happy days. We've drawn Mickey and Minnie successfully for their birthday. Now the funny thing is, and I didn't notice this, is that in all the artwork and on the wishable itself, their ears actually overlap. I thought that was peculiar. And also it made sense, like how do you fit them both on there? But anyway, ears are usually about a third of the, something like this. And because of the tilt that I put her head at, it's likely that they won't overlap quite as much as in the photo that I'm using for reference. They'll overlap a little bit. So I'm looking at how big it is. It is about half the size of their head, maybe just slightly smaller. And it's slightly oblong, meaning instead of being a perfect circle, it's more of a egg shape, but only slightly. So it'll be something like that. Sammy just realized that I am wearing, indeed, I have embraced my inner calamari dock worker. Cephalopunk is what we can call it. That's right, I found somebody, some crazy fan on the Mandalorian subreddit. He found the same exact one that the costume department used. It's from Amazon, and posted the link, and I was like, you know what, that actually looks kind of comfortable, and so I bought it, and here it is. And it is actually quite comfortable. I would recommend it. It was only $30. I think it might be sold out now. So I'm just gonna define the ears real quick and then color it in. And then here's the thing, we need to decide. Hi Adriana, we need to decide on facial expressions, and this is totally up to you guys. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you where everything goes, and then we'll leave it at that. So this is where the snout goes. Then you just draw a nice little egg shape for the nose. Nice little egg shape for the nose. Then one of those cutesy smiles. And then another cutesy smile. But this one's gonna be more hidden. Just because I'm rolling with whatever I got. Her head wasn't supposed to be that tilted, but that's okay. All right, so here's what we got. I can either do the winks like the Wishables have. And the funny thing is, it's the sweater demand is only going to be for this color because all the bounders and cosplayers are going to want this. I can't wait to see the photos of the first person that does an actual like cosplay of it, like full calamari makeup and everything. So I do not want to do the winky faces. So for Mickey, I'm going to just do regular big black eyes. And these are going to be circular, not pie-eyed or not any other shape. So I'm going to look like this. And then for Minnie, I will do sort of the winky face or the winky eyes, which is just this. And then we'll add the eyelashes. Fill it in a little bit and call it good. Now there is like a little rosiness of some kind that's on their cheeks, but I'm choosing not to add that, but you can add if you would like. And then the only other thing is that there is a Mickey as like an emblem here. Now I messed that one up already. Hidden Mickey's actually kind of hard to draw. Who would have guessed it? Good enough. Oh, and there is a little line for the hood here. And then I can fill in the ears, and that should be it. I wish you were. I really wish you were drawing this, Sammy. Do you know half of the reason that I do this is so I can see everybody's drawings at the end? Which, by the way, if you are drawing, please feel free to tag me. Yeah, the only thing I'm missing is like this little like rosy nonsense that's on the cheeks. And that's really it. Looks kind of weird to me. I'm just gonna define my lines here. But that is really it. You came here to talk about McDonald's Happy Meal toys. Don't lie, Sammy. Like, alright, where they at? Who got them? Who's got the dinosaur one? Who's got that time rover? The way Mickey, your Mickey looks, you don't think Minnie should be in the car with him? Oh my god, Tiff. That's awful. The crazy thing is, the way that I drew them felt natural to me, of like making them cutesy, but they're even more smushed in terms of their faces. Like, meaning these eyes bring them down like another hair. Like, the features are just all smushed together and they just have massive foreheads, and that's one reason why I don't enjoy Wishables. They just look so off model. All right, Sammy, thanks for visiting, imparting all that wisdom. Was there something else that D23 sent out? Because I just got a tracking number. Interesting. Alright, everybody good? I think maybe 2 minutes, and then we'll move on. Also, let me know, again, am I going too fast? Am I going too slow? Let me know. Oh, probably the magazine. Because it's winter coming up. I forgot that the magazine was even a thing. Thank you, Heather. so the last one that I want to do here is Chuuby. Is it Chuuby Bird or just Chuuby? I don't know. What is it? But at any rate, I feel like this was a good character to do towards the end, just because he's a super cutie little thing, and we'll gain our confidence back here. And also because with Mickey and Minnie, they've been the one that's introduced so many other characters, or been the way that so many other characters have been introduced to the whole Disney franchise, Disney property, whatever you want to call it. They've been able to introduce a lot of Disney characters. And that goes with this Chuuby Bird, which made his debut in Runaway Railway, I believe. He's only in that ride, right, and nowhere else. I don't think we remember seeing him in any of the cartoons or anything. So anyway, let's draw Chuuby. So I'm going to do the basic shapes, and then we'll fill them in. So nice and light. Nice big circle for the head. And then about the same size, like a snowman, overlapping. It's going to be for the body. And then I'm going to just quickly draw an arch for where the wings are. I'm basically mapping out the entire character, how I would do it. Almost looks like a weird flower. That's basically it. So we'll start to give this shape. Yeah, it's a great ride. I didn't really have too much to do when I went to Hollywood Studios in August, so I rode that like 5 or 6 times. And there's actually storylines within that you have to look for. There's a whole subplot with Pluto that is really worth looking for on re-rides. But obviously, the first ride, just try to take in what you can from it. Just sit back and enjoy it. Now, Fast Passes, well, Fast Pass Plus is different at Disney World, where you just basically walk on the ride, whereas Disneyland, it just kind of shortens your wait. But either way, I still like them. I think that they're planning on bringing those back. Or I've heard rumors that when it kind of calms down in like March or April. Yeah, it's like being in a cartoon. Legit. It's really good. Alright, I'm going to start drawing the top of this little guy's head. And then, much like Mickey and Minnie, he's going to have some big old cheeks. They come in just about a third, quarter of the way into his head. And then the bottom of the cheek is going to intersect with what's eventually going to be the rest of the body here. So come in, then come into the body with the cheek. These are some big old cheeks, my goodness. And there's that cheek. I don't know if I made it plump enough, so just to be safe, we're gonna stretch that out there. And then I think I went too... The width is good, but I think I went too low. So I'm looking at the proportions of him, and it looks like we want it to be about half the head, maybe 3/4 of a head. I'm talking about this stomach part that I'm going to do right now. So this is going to be another sort of oval shape. Then using this, I'm gonna quickly draw like where the chest is, and then some of the fur lines or plumage for drawing a bird here. My goodness. Very strange lines for the plumage, but that is what's there. So I'm just drawing that. I'm not questioning it too much. Alright, I want to draw this wing now. It goes about, the top of the wings peak where the top of the head is. This makes it easier. And then the first feather is going to be right where the cheek is. Then it's going to circle out this way, going towards this part of the cheek, and then underside, and then hidden behind there. Then we do it on the other side here. Comes out about the same place. No taller than the head. First feather finishing in the middle of the cheek. Second feather finishing below the cheek. And then this one finishes about underneath the cheek, coming in like this. And then this kind of just joins the rest of the body. So there's only 3 distinct feather shapes there, even though there's 4 there, because he's sort of turned. From there, on the underside here, we have the tail feathers. And then we'll draw the feet real quick. So that is going to be about here and about here. So if you can imagine just going from where the insides of these cheeks are and going down. Actually, this one is probably a bit too far out. It looks like this one is more in line with the inside here. So actually I see that this is somewhere around here instead. I don't know about the plexiglass on Rise. I saw photos of it. It doesn't look good. It feels weird. Especially whenever it involves movement. I don't know about that. Plus, this is like, it doesn't feel like the right time to be messing with capacity or like attendance capacity, because things are actually much worse. I feel like it's riskier now to do something like that. Alright, next up I want to start drawing some of the facial features. The first thing I'm going to do is just this little, whatever it's called, feather at the top of the head. This is just sort of back of the head type of little thing. Then, just imagining a little line down the middle here to kind of guide me, and then using the cheeks as the additional guide, we're going to draw a beak. Right, it feels like it takes you out of whatever ride you're on. Even if it's Rise, if it's Mansion, well, I guess Mansion is harder, but are they going to do that for, like, I don't know, Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff? Like, is that for all the rides, basically? This mouth is long. Jeez. It's gonna go all the way down here. And then coming out of the beak, there's like those little smile lines. Or only one, I should say. And funny enough, this bird has pie eyes. Interesting. And there is my very chunky and slightly off-model Chuuby. And it does have like a little line of some kind here, but this is colored in where it indicates where its pattern is, since the rest of this is orange. But then this and this area here are all tan. Yeah, for sure. The wait times have probably decreased because they're going more towards the capacity they used to have, right? Hey, Eric. Thanks for stopping by. All right, there's our little chubby Chuuby. If you guys want to see what I was referencing, why I think he's chubby, it's the body. He's a little chunky. He looks like he's had a couple of perfect picnics. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm pulling off my inner Mon Calamari. I'm letting him out. Embracing my inner Cephalopunk. But yeah, there's your Chuuby. Anybody who has been drawing, I realize that some of you guys have been engrossed in talking about plexiglass, which is also a topic very near and dear to me. Especially with the way that they've increased capacity at Disney World. With all that, it's still, like, if you're not a local, I don't know if I feel comfortable traveling to Florida right now with the way cases have been going. It just, like, it wouldn't be, you know, being on property feels safe and being at the parks feels pretty safe. But flying just sounds terrifying. And I know people who are driving, and that's no problem, you know. But my goodness, getting on an airplane right now sounds terrifying. It stinks because this is my favorite season, and I used to go at least 2 or 3 times, but here we are. I don't think I'm going to end up going to Disney until like March or April. And that's only if we get this vaccine distributed quickly enough. And even then, it requires everybody to be kind of on board with that, because I could see myself wearing a mask for a lot longer than people recommend. Especially for me, just having had my surgery. Like, I'm not messing with it. Like, I can't be as risky as I used to be. I think I'm gonna post this chubby Chuuby to my Instagrams. Actually, I might as well post the things that I drew here. Yeah, that would be so sad to go like a whole year without going back to the parks, but it might be necessary. I think that Six Flags Great Adventure will probably stay open for the rest of the season unless there's some sort of shutdown. I hate that all the buttons on Instagram got moved around. What the heck, guys? Yeah, Rachel. It's probably, like, I'm glad I went when I did, too. I calculated out that was probably one of the best times, like, in terms of when the cases were going to be the lowest. It's kind of fun to flip through this now that I've done, I don't know how many, this might be week 5. It's kind of fun. Anyway, guys. IG update, no bueno. Agreed, Tiff. It's been really crowded some weekdays. Hasn't been as crowded some other days, huh? The new IG does not know what it wants to be. It wants to be everything to everybody, and that's a whole nother rant that I could go on for a while, but I have to probably plug this right now, and I have to go take care of some other things. So, please, everybody tag me, Instagram or Twitter, whichever is your poison. Tag me on your doodles from tonight. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you guys next week, all right?